So does China pose a threat to Australia? Yes, absolutely. China is the largest security challenge that Australia has faced since the fall of Imperial Japan. No doubt about it. So there are a few reasons why China is such a threat to Australia, and it's a much greater threat than, say, the Soviet Union ever was. So the first thing is the PLAN, the Chinese Navy's rapid expansion. So Australia is most threatened by naval powers rather than land powers. We're an island, right? So we rely on the ocean for our prosperity, our connections to the rest of the world, including our allies, and fundamentally our security. Anyone who wants to invade Australia has to come across that body of water. So naval powers are the most threatening to Australia. That's what made Imperial Japan such a drastic threat to Australia's security. They were such a formidable naval power, right? And what we're seeing in China is a gargantuan naval expansion. So it's not just the number of hulls they're building, it's the kinds of hulls. So they're building aircraft carriers. Now we're looking at super carriers being built, LHDs, these kinds of things. And these kinds of ships allow the Chinese to project their power outside of the region, which drastically increases the threat to Australia. So that's the first thing, the Chinese Navy's rapid expansion, their rapid naval expansion. The second thing is China's stance to the current regional security architecture. So I think it's very clear to everyone that China wants to disrupt or destroy the current order, the current regional order, called the rules-based regional order or the current security architecture, however you want to phrase it, the way things have been since World War II. They want to do that primarily because the current architecture is dominated by the United States and its alliances. Now, Australia has a vested interest in protecting that regional order because our security is based on it. So is our prosperity. We've benefited greatly from those structures since World War II. And China very clearly wants to disrupt or destroy those structures. So that's the second thing. The third thing is the Chinese Communist Party has shown that it's not really scared of using violence to achieve its geopolitical aims, and nor is it bound by international norms or international laws. We've seen that all over the place, especially in the South China Sea. So when you put those three things together, China looks like a huge security challenge for Australia. The greatest one we have faced since World War II, absolutely. And it will be the greatest. It will be the focus of the Australian military and the Australian strategic community for the next 30 years or so, or 20 years, depending on what happens inside China, obviously. But yes, absolutely, China is a huge and very concerning security challenge for Australia.